Someone forgave me yesterday and it made me angry. Not at them, at myself, because if they can let it go that easily, why can't I? I saw a comment last week that just said, I can forgive everyone who hurt me, but I can't forgive myself for hurting them. And I just sat there staring at it. Because, yeah, that's it. That's exactly it. I've been keeping this list in my head for years. Every time I said the wrong thing, every time I wasn't funny enough or smart enough or likable enough, every version of myself I'm ashamed of. And I go through it at night like I'm studying for a test I can never pass. And at some point I realize no one asked me to keep this list. No one else is even checking, but I am every single night because I think if I punish myself enough, I'll finally become the person I'm supposed to be. But I won't, because shame doesn't make you better. It just makes you smaller. There was this moment maybe 4 years ago. I was at a friend's party, one of those small gatherings where everyone is kind of talking in groups and you're trying to figure out where you fit. And I was standing in the kitchen holding a drink I wasn't even drinking, just holding it so my hands had something to do. Someone made a joke and I tried to add to it. I thought I was being funny. I thought I was contributing, but the words came out wrong. And there was this silence, not long, just half a second, but long enough for me to realize I'd completely misjudged the room. And everyone just moved on, like I hadn't said anything at all. I stood there thinking, I shouldn't have said that. I shouldn't have tried. I should have just stayed quiet. And here's the thing, I still think about that moment, not every day, but enough. Enough that it's become this piece of evidence I carry around, proof that I am awkward, proof that I don't belong, proof that if I'm not careful I'll embarrass myself again, but I don't think anyone else at that party even remembers I was there. I don't think they went home and replayed that moment. I don't think they added it to a list of reasons I'm not worth their time. I'm the only one who did that. I used to think other people were the ones keeping score, that they remembered every awkward thing I said, every time I wasn't impressive, every moment I failed to be the version of myself I thought I should be. But the truth is, most people forgot about it almost immediately. Most people were too busy worrying about their own mistakes to even notice mine. The cruelty isn't coming from them anymore. It's coming from me. I've become my own bully, and I don't know how to stop. Because here's the thing about forgiving yourself. It feels dangerous. It feels like if you stop punishing yourself, you're saying the mistake didn't matter. Like you're giving yourself permission to be careless again, to hurt people again, to mess up again. So you hold onto the shame, you carry it like it's doing something useful. Like if you just punish yourself enough, you'll finally learn. You'll finally become someone who doesn't make mistakes, someone who always says the right thing, someone people actually want around. But shame doesn't teach you how to be better. It just teaches you to be afraid to speak up, afraid to try, afraid to be yourself in case you get it wrong again. And the longer you carry it, the smaller you become. There was another moment a few months after that party. I said something to someone I cared about. I didn't mean it the way it came out, but I saw their face change. I saw it land wrong, and immediately I apologized. I said, I'm sorry, I didn't mean it like that. And they looked at me and said, it's okay. I know you didn't. And that was it. For them, it was over. Done. Forgiven in the span of a single sentence. But for me, it wasn't over. I kept replaying it. I kept thinking about all the ways I could have said it differently, all the ways I should have known better. I built this entire story in my head where I was the kind of person who hurt people without realizing it, where I couldn't be trusted, where I needed to be more careful, more controlled, more perfect. And months later, I brought it up again. I said, I'm still really sorry about what I said that time. And they looked at me, genuinely confused, like they'd completely forgotten it even happened. And that's when it hit me. The standard I hold myself to isn't real. No one else is measuring me against it. It's just a prison I built, and I'm the only one keeping myself in it. I think the reason forgiveness feels impossible is because we've convinced ourselves that the guilt is what makes us good people. Like if we let it go, we'll become careless. We'll stop caring about whether we hurt people. We'll turn into someone we don't want to be. But that's not how it works, because if you were the kind of person who didn't care, you wouldn't be carrying this guilt in the first place. You wouldn't replay your mistakes at night. You wouldn't worry about being better. The fact that you care, that's already the thing keeping you accountable. The shame isn't helping. It never was. It's just keeping you stuck. I think what we're really afraid of is this. If we stop hating ourselves, we'll stop trying. That the guilt is the only thing motivating us to be better. That without it, we'll just become lazy, selfish, careless versions of ourselves. But you already know what you did wrong. You've already learned the lesson. You've replayed it enough times to have it memorized. Holding on to it longer won't teach you anything new. It won't undo what happened. It won't make you better. It'll just keep you afraid. Here's what I've been trying lately. It's small and it feels weird at first, but when that voice starts, the one that lists all the reasons I'm not good enough, all the mistakes I've made, all the ways I've failed, I stop and I say out loud, really quietly, I forgive you. Not because I'm perfect now, not because the mistakes didn't happen, not because I've suddenly figured out how to never mess up again, but because carrying them forever won't undo them. And maybe I deserve to put them down. The first time I said it, it felt like a lie, like I was just saying words I didn't believe, because how can you forgive yourself when part of you still thinks you don't deserve it? But I kept trying, and over time something started to shift. I started noticing how much energy I was spending on punishment, how much space the guilt was taking up in my head, how exhausting it was to constantly be at war with myself. And I realized this isn't making me better. This isn't teaching me anything I don't already know. It's just making me tired. Forgiving yourself doesn't mean you're saying the mistake was okay. It doesn't mean you're becoming careless or reckless. It just means you're choosing to stop punishing yourself for being human. Because you are human. You're going to say the wrong thing sometimes. You're going to hurt people without meaning to. You're going to be awkward and clumsy and imperfect. And that's not something you need to carry as shame for the rest of your life. That's just what it means to be a person. I think we hold on to shame so tightly because we think it's the only thing keeping us decent. Like, if we let it go, we'll become the kind of person who hurts people and doesn't care. But you already care. That's why you're here. That's why you're reading this. That's why you can't let it go. You don't need the shame to make you care. You just care. So maybe tonight, just for a second, you try something different. When that voice starts listing all your failures, all the reasons you're not enough, you don't argue with it. You don't try to fix it. You just say quietly, I forgive you. You don't have to mean it completely. You don't have to feel it yet. But maybe you just say it and see what happens. Because you've been carrying this for so long. And it hasn't made you better. It's just made you afraid. You don't have to forgive yourself all at once. You don't have to wake up tomorrow and suddenly be free of all the guilt you've been holding. But maybe tonight, just for a second, you stop punishing yourself. Just for a second, you let yourself breathe. Maybe that's enough. I believe in you. Now believe in yourself.